Welcome to St. Mary's Gymnasium here in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario for senior basketball action between the White Pines Wolverines and the St. Mary's Knights. St. Mary's undefeated here on the season so far, and White Pines senior team, I believe, is winless. That being said, they've been in a bunch of basketball games. White Pines, I think they've only lost by 10. They only to Cora, they only lost by 5 to Superior Heights. So they've been in a lot of games this year. And this St. Mary's team, they are as deep and as strong as any team that I can remember over the last 20 years. I mean, their bench goes 12, 13 players deep, and all of them can play. So this is a real strong team here for the Knights. It seems like the coaches or the officials are just discussing something here. I'm joined alongside, as usual, Ashton Young, with Jay and Shaw Houselander in studio, and Chris Carr sitting on a chair next to me. Ashton, kind of talked a little bit about, how White Pines, I believe, is winless so far this year. St. Mary's, first place, undefeated. What are your expectations here for this game?
If I'm White Pines, I'm looking to stay competitive, build, right? Everyone makes the playoffs. This is probably the team you're going to see in the first round of the playoffs. So you want to see how you play against them. Try and keep it competitive, and we'll see. The White Pines had their best player quit on them, and I was talking to the coach pregame. They said the key to this is just going to stay competitive defensively and see what happens on the offense. He feels like they can make the shots when they get them, but they got to stay competitive defensively, and that doesn't seem like a great start. But
and that's 4 points for Samson McKay early on here as they jump out to the early lead. Mingos kicks it out to Wisloski. Wisloski passes it to Migos. Migos, good take inside. He puts it off the St. Mary's player. The Migos brothers, George and Demos from Greece, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right, Ashton?
Yes, sir. And and Igor Netsha is from the Ukraine.
And there's a turnover by White Pines. Back up to McKay. McKay off the backboard. Nice rebound there by Ruscio. Ruscio kicks it out to Malcolm. Matt Malcolm looks. Passes over to McKay. McKay with a nifty pass to Martin. Martin tries to swing it to Ruscio, and they're unable to connect. And it'll be White Pines basketball.
So, also, I'm pretty familiar with the White Pines coaching staff. Both of those guys happen to play on my men's basketball team.
Yeah.
So I know the offense they run pretty well. It's the old against the man. It's the 5-0 penetrating kick.
Migos, his shot off the mark. Ruscio with the board.
Which, if you have shooters, is a great offense. It's a nice
Martin with a nice take, which your men's team doesn't, which is why we used to beat you all the time. And here goes Migos with it. Migos over to Holsworth. He kicks it back to Migos. Migos with a take inside. Tries to get it to Wisloski. It's picked off. A nice steal there by Holsworth. Holsworth takes it for the Wolverines. He passes over to Hopkins into the corner to Wisloski. Wisloski with a beauty take inside.
The one weakness to this offense is if you're not going to make shots when you penetrate, you're not getting many offensive rebounds because you have 4 guys standing outside the top, standing outside the 3-point line.
And here goes White Pines.
Nice
Beautiful take by Hopkins, and he makes no mistake. Nice passing play there by the Wolverines to get them on the board with 5:36 to play. Here goes McKay for the Knights. He passes it over to Ruscio along the right side. Ruscio looks, and there's a steal there by Wisloski. Migos passes it up to Migos. Migos from downtown, and that's off the front of the rim. Great rebound by Matt Malcolm, but there's a turnover. Wisloski has it. Wisloski out to Hopkins. His shot is off. And it'll be White Pines basketball. Also, in men's league, who runs an offense?
Well, you need something for structure.
Oh, jeez. So with 5:12 to play here in...
Realistically, we ran more of a 4-out-1 in. We just had a big guy in the middle.
Yeah, you did. I guarded him. McKay with it now. Out to Ruscio. Ruscio over to Malcolm. Malcolm Nice move inside. There's Carter. And Carter goes up strong, but great defense there by George Migos, who makes a beautiful play. And it's going to be St. Mary's basketball. And the old tuck in the shirt rule that I used to hate so much when I played too. So,
is it because it didn't stay connecting because it couldn't?
Exactly. Nick Carter getting told to tuck in his jersey. Nick, a multi-sport stud athlete here for the St. Mary's Knights in both football and basketball. As McKay has it, he kicks it out to Malcolm. Malcolm over to Martin. Martin into the corner to Ruscio. Ruscio back to Martin. Martin pulls up the three, and Martin with an air ball outside. And that's going to be off of McKay, and it's going to be White Pines basketball as Dimos Migos inbounds it there to Hopkins. Hopkins over to Holsworth for the triple.
Oh, he had a crash? Oh.
And he somehow stays in bounds. What a play by Wislowski. And he gets it into Migos. And Migos' shot doesn't get the roll. Malcolm with the board. Matthew Malcolm. He finds McKay. McKay, who has all the offense so far for the Knights, inside to Ruscio. And Ruscio's fouled hard from behind by George Migos. And Ruscio will go to the line for two.
And here during the first few throws, we'd like to thank a couple sponsors. And that would be Maximus, Rose.com. No broker is the same. They've earned stripes by doing things differently, specializing in benefits and pension plans. Visit MaximusRose.com today for more information. And Thompson Flooring, Resurfacing and Commercial. Custom installers, restores, sanders, and finishers.
Yeah, we'd like to thank our sponsors as, bringing high school basketball and bringing all high school sports actually to you. We can't do it without them. If you're interested in some sponsorship opportunities, please contact Jay Houselander at Saultsports, and he'll take care of you, and he'll provide you with all the options that they have as Carter goes up strong, and Martin now with the rebound. Martin has it. Martin kicks it out to McKay. And I did lie. Martin does have a bucket here so far, so McKay doesn't have all the scoring. As Carter now has it. Carter with a big move inside, and that's tough to stop. And somehow the Wolverines are able to do so. Nice job there. Here comes Hopkins. Hopkins with a nice take inside. And Hopkins in amongst the trees. Still gets the shot off, but Malcolm grabs the board. Matt Malcolm kicks it to McKay in the corner. McKay, his shot's a little strong. Wislowski
stepped out.
Had his heel out of bounds, and it'll be St. Mary's basketball with 3:24 to play in the first quarter. The Knights with a 6-2 lead. Coach Kofi giving, the one thing, I don't know if Coach Kofi's had 5 consistent starters all season. I feel like every game he's run with a different group out there. As Ruscio from downtown.
I guess when you're that deep, you just get to play with starting lineups until it matters, right?
That's right. McKay here with it. McKay out to Malcolm. Malcolm to Ruscio. Ruscio inside to Martin. Martin with a beautiful move, and Carter puts it home. But to your point, we saw guys like Malcolm and Ruscio who didn't see a whole lot of playing time early on in the season, and now they're starting. That's the depth that this team has, and that's an impressive thing to have. And it's nice if you're Coach Kofi as Mikos pulls up, and his shot's a little off. And what a pass! This St. Mary's team, they run the floor, and Samson McKay puts it home. If you can't run back with these guys, it's going to be tough.
If you're Coach Joey Brock here, you got to tell your kids, you got to get back on defense. You put a shot up, one guy crash, and have the other 4 guys get back, or they're just going to leak out on you all day, and it's going to get ugly early. But during this first time out, would like to thank the Huron Superior Catholic District School Board and Algoma District School Board for allowing us to stream these games.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice that the school boards allow us to do this. And, we talk about this all the time, Ashton. Where do we find the time to do this? Well, I just wish that we had this type of streaming service and this type of, support kind of back when we were playing. It would have been really cool to have. And, man.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, we'd be going back and watching those tapes. When we used to be good athletes.
I was never a good athlete. It was okay.
I just got to confer here with Jay Houselander about something. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We do have some breaking news from Sault Sports about some upcoming streaming that we are going to be providing. So I will make those announcements here in the second quarter. It's nice that we're getting these opportunities to bring, you know, boys and girls sports, you know, across the board to people. And, you know, the support we've gotten has been huge. And with that support, we do have a couple big announcements that we'll make. So we'll get back to that in a bit with 2:34 to play in the first quarter. Ruscio has the ball here for the Knights. Ruscio comes up. He finds McKay. McKay back to Ruscio. Ruscio over to Malcolm. Malcolm pulls up. We've seen a lot that have just rimmed in and out, but what an effort by Carter. Reese Martin finally gets to put it home, but great job by Nick Carter on the glass. And here comes Wisłowski now. He gives it over to Migos.
Oh.
And Malcolm with the steal. And they're going to call a foul there against George Mikos. So you were saying that White Pines had a player quit on them.
Yeah, it was Nate Johns, formerly number 32.
Yeah, Nate's a great player.
That's what I heard.
Interesting decision. That's unfortunate for this White Pines team. Yeah, he was definitely.
Makes it tough.
Yeah,
They got a couple. They look pretty short benched here. They got a couple guys unavailable tonight as well.
Into the game for St. Mary's is Camera and Nari. Nari now with it. Nari looks. He finds Martin. Martin pulls up from mid-range, and that misses. Holsworth now with it. Holsworth, and he gets picked off by Martin. Martin gets fouled there by Migos, sorry. St. Mary's with a 10-point lead late in the first quarter. Malcolm's going to inbound, and Kamara with it now. Kamara puts it over to Nari. Nari looks, finds Kamara up top, back to Malcolm. Malcolm has it. Malcolm over to Martin. Martin, good take inside, but he's stripped there. And Pine had it. Pine
it's a good job by Martin getting back.
Nice
recovering.
job by Martin for sure. And now Nari has it. Nari finds Martin. Martin with a beautiful pass inside, and Carter. Another miss from inside. You don't see that very often. Migos now has it. Migos with a good strong move there. And he finds Holsworth.
No.
Holsworth tries to go inside.
He might have got pushed there, but I mean, he wasn't on balance.
That's the strength of this St. Mary's defense, right? Nick Carter's presence inside is absolutely monstrous for the Knights, right? He doesn't allow anything inside. It's tough to get anything, you know, within 4 or 5 feet of the rim here against this St. Mary's Knights team. As Kamara now with it. Kamara comes up, and he finds Malcolm. Malcolm inside to Martin. Martin with a nice swing pass to Nari, and Nari's three is a little long, but Martin again with probably his 4th rebound out to Kamara, and Kamara's three is off the back of the rim.
That's a guy I haven't seen get a lot of minutes this year. We've done a couple of their games, right? Maybe they're just going to. I haven't seen number 9 much either, have you?
No,
in the games we've streamed.
Yeah, that's right. So Kamara now with it. Kamara over to Malcolm. Malcolm has it back to Kamara. Kamara to Malcolm. Malcolm looks, finds Martin. Martin over to Kamara, inside to Carter. And Carter again with a miss, but another rebound, and Carter's fouled, and he's going to go to the line for 2. Nick Carter is just being an absolute beast down underneath the rim, grabbing rebounds all over the place.
Looks like White Pines doesn't have much size to contend with him, so he should feast.
He definitely uses that size to his advantage, right? One thing that's been uncharacteristic from him today is, you know, he's amazing at those putbacks, right? That's what he hits, and he's great at those. He's been struggling from there today. However, he's 1 for 1 from the line and 1 for 2 with 25 seconds to play. And Martin picks the pocket from behind. There's a scramble for it. Kamara ends up with it, and he hands it up to Martin. And Reese Martin makes no mistake. With 15.6 seconds to play, the St. Mary's Knights with a 15-2 lead. I believe there's a wet patch there on the court, so that's getting cleaned up quickly. White Pines is going to inbound the ball here. Hopkins with it.
If you're White Pines here, you might want to just take a good shot here.
Migos has it.
They've put up some okay shots. Nothing's really fallen for them. This is open.
Wislocky with a nice take inside. Oh, he can't get the roll, and that's going to do it for the first quarter of play here from St. Mary's.
It's a tough start offensively for White Pines there. If you're Coach Joey Brock, you got to tell your kids just stay settled and focused on offense and maybe put up 1 or 2 good shots here. And here at Saultsportstv.com, we would just like to thank Domino's and Team Essentials for teaming up with us to honor the high school's top players of the game when Sault Sports TV streams their regular season and postseason games. Each game, Sault Sports TV announcers will select a player from each one of the teams where they will be awarded Domino's Medium Pizza and a Team Essentials Player of the Game t-shirt. And if you're Coach Nate here, you just tell your kids in games where you potentially can beat a team by a lot, you got to stay focused, right, and stay clean. If you want to make a comparison, World Junior Hockey, when Team Canada plays like a Germany and they win 9-11-1, you tell your kids you got to play clean, right? You don't want to get sloppy, even though you're going to win. You don't want to create bad habits in games like these.
Yeah, no question. And the announcement that we wanted to make here at Sault Sports was Sault Sports will be covering the NASA Hockey semifinals and finals March 6th and 7th, 2023 from here in Sault Ste. Marie. Sorry, all games for NASA Hockey will be streamed on March 6th and 7th. So that's a big announcement. We really look forward to that. That's going to be some outstanding hockey. Obviously, the St. Mary's Knights, one of the strongest teams in Ontario, as they're away at a tournament right now. I know that they won their first game. They're 3-0 now, so they've won all 3 games from Southern Ontario. And the other big announcement is April 12th and 16th, the Sioux will be hosting the OHF Under 15 Championships, and we will be broadcasting those games for you. So that's huge for the city and great exposure as usual. And that's a big deal as the Sioux will be going for the Memorial Cup, obviously, and putting a bid in. So again, you know, the Sioux knows how to run a hockey tournament, and the fact that we get the U15 championships here, that's a huge deal. So we look forward to bringing you those 2 sporting events, and we will be covering them here at Sault Sports. As St. Mary's pulls up a 3, and that was off. Here comes Hopkin now with it for the Knights. Hopkin has the ball. Hopkin over to Halsworth. Halsworth looks. He looks inside to Pine. Back to Halsworth, and Halsworth goes up strong, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
It's a nice little play right there, give and go from White Pines.
Tristan Halsworth, outstanding athlete, great basketball player, had a great junior career with White Pines, and you know, he's only a grade 11 athlete. You know, this White Pines team,
they're young,
they're very young, yeah. And you have to think that
with those kids coming up,
yeah, and even the Migos brothers, there's a good chance they might come back for another year if this is their first year here, right? And in Canada. So again, this White Pines team, they are young. As Camera now has it, he gives it over to Nari. Nari drains the triple, as the bench likes to see that. Matthew Nari. Hopkins now has it. Hopkins to Wisłowski, and that's off the mark. So deceiving from up here, Ash. I thought that was going right in, but ends up being long. With 6:24 to play, St. Mary's holding on to an 18-4 lead. White Pines looks. Didn't have much communication there as Kamara with the take, and he makes absolutely no mistake. Ben Kamara with his first bucket of the afternoon, or of the evening, I guess. Here comes Grayson Pine. Pine over to Wisłowski. Into the corner to Hopkins. Hopkins
finally get one to fall,
is good from Terry Fox Place. What a shot that was. Ocampo gets it inside to Derboka. Derboka tries to hand it in to Oprisco. It's back to Ocampo. Ocampo has it. What a pass by Ocampo into Derboka, and he nails it. If Kieran Derboka is getting on the board, you know it must have been a heck of a pass. So nice job by Ocampo. I told Derboka I was going to chirp him a little bit today if he got into the game. So
fair enough.
Yeah, nice play there by the Knights. But in all seriousness, Kieran's an outstanding athlete, great kid. Nice to see him getting on the board here early. And man, he works hard. I've known him since he's been, oh goodness, probably 4 or 5. So nice to see him out here working hard and playing and getting some playing time because, again, he's quite the athlete. Here goes White Pines. Holsworth with the 3. And that goes back rim, front rim. What a rebound that was by Oprisco. He passes it up to Derboka.
There was a push in the back.
Yeah, he's pushed from behind. Ocampo looking to inbound here for the Knights. Ocampo has it into Kamara. Kamara back to Ocampo. Ocampo with a great take into Derboka. Derboka's shot's off the mark. Great rebound there by Oprisco, or good effort anyway. And it's taken by Nietzsche. Up to Grayson Pine. Grayson Pine with a nice take inside. And he gets the shooter's roll. That's 2 more. Kamara now with it. Over to Ocampo. Ocampo back to Kamara. Over to Progmid. And there's the 3. And that's just off. Nice rebound by Oprisco.
It's a nice little tie-up there from Hopkins. And White Pines, in games like this, I'm not saying they're out of it. They're only down, 13 here, early in the second half, or first half. But games with a team this young, playing against teams that are this talented like St. Mary's, it doesn't look fun at the moment, but you learn how to play the right way from guys like this, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's good experience too for these young kids, right? They're like we talked about, they're a relatively young team. Wisłowski's only in grade 10. I don't know if you noticed.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I was just like, it's going to be tough for him inside, like if when he's against Mr. Old Nick Carter there, but
what experience?
It'll make him tougher.
No question. Ocampo, he pulls up the 3, and that's just off. And here goes Pine with it. Grayson Pine looks, and Pine with a nice take inside.
And I don't know this if it's what's with the clock and a timeout or okay.
It was an emphatic timeout horn there.
And this time we would like to take this time out to thank a couple sponsors, and that would be MaximusRose.com. No broker is the same. They've earned their stripes by doing things differently, specializing in benefits and pension plans. Visit MaximusRose.com today for more information. And Thompson Hardwood Flooring and Machine, custom installer, restorer, sander, and refinisher. And I just have a question here, Bono. I know he's going. So I just have a question because it's been a few years since I've been involved in high school basketball. Is there still like single, double, and triple? Or is double and triple, or is it all one?
Yeah.
So does White Pine? So just because a game like this against a team as experienced as, that's what I thought. Okay. All double, triple? Yeah. Just a team this young, right, playing against a team that's this talented, and we expect to be deep in the playoffs and potentially an OFSA berth, right? This could be invaluable experience for a team that's guaranteed probably a NASA spot at single A NASA, and it can really help them, I think, further on in those games here to stay competitive with a team like this.
Yeah, you're right about that. And again, that's the nice thing about this league in a sense, right, is there are different size schools, there are different NASAs, So there's lots of opportunity for the Sioux to be represented at the provincial and Northern Ontario Championship. So it is nice to have, absolutely.
And that's not saying White Pines can't compete, because they've won a few city titles in the last couple of years, right? So they've been competitive.
This junior team won a championship within the last couple of years too. So, and here's Ruscio back in the game. Ruscio kicks it over, and it's back to Martin, back to Ruscio. Ruscio has it. Ruscio with a nice, he puts home 2. Here comes Hopkins now. Hopkins has it. Hopkins over to Wisłowski. Wisłowski looks. Wisłowski into the corner to Pine. Back to Wisłowski again. Wisłowski tries going baseline. He's cut off. What a catch that was by Holsworth.
It's a nice defensive play by number 15.
And Derboka just puts it off the back rim. Nice effort inside by Jack Prigmett.
A little bit of contact down there. Surprise no.
Again.
Not rebounding.
Oh, sorry, that's Oprisco inside.
Oh.
Oprisco with a terrific effort. And it's taken by Pine now. Pine has it for the Wolverines. He looks, he uses the screen by Necha over to Hopkins. Hopkins with a nice take inside. Nice defense by Derboka, and that just goes out of bounds. That's going to be St. Mary's basketball with 2:58 to play in the first half. Ocampo coming into the game for Kamara. Benjamin Kamara, he deserves a lot of credit. He got the start here today. Played really well out there. You know, he only had 2 points, but again, kind of like Ouellette Jr., right? Every time the ball came up the floor, the offense went through him there. So nice job by him.
Definitely. He's a distributor for sure.
Ruscio now has it. Ruscio back up top to McKay. McKay's 3's off. Back to Ruscio. Ruscio with another nice move. Oh, but there's a turnover.
Nice hands.
Yeah, good play by Hopkins. Up to Wisłowski. Wisłowski. Oh, what a play by Wisłowski. The grade 10 athlete. What a take that was. And Ruscio's pass is off the hands of Oprisco. And it's going to be White Pines basketball with 2:22 to play, down by 11. Here comes Hopkins with it. Hopkins, who's had a good game here for the Wolverines as well. Over to Nietzsche's. And what a pass inside. They're going to call a foul there against the Knights with 2:12 to play. It's going to be White Pines basketball. Ryder Hopkins is going to be on the inbound. Reese Martin and Nick Carter come back in for Oprisco and Derboka.
What the lineup St. Mary's is using tonight, do you think maybe a couple kids are in trouble, or are they just resting guys? Cause
yeah, maybe giving guys
a little bit interested here in the lineups.
We'll go talk to Coach Kofi at halftime and get the scoop as Nietzsche's goes up and his shot's off. Here's Ruscio with the 3, and Marcus Ruscio with his 5th point of the evening drains it. As Hopkins now with it. And Hopkins gets stripped by Ruscio. Ruscio with a nice take, but good rebound. Here goes Migos, and he gets his pocket picked. Reese Martin, little razzle-dazzle pass to McKay. His shot's off. McKay back out to Jack, and his shot's off the mark. Carter with a beautiful rebound inside 4 guys, and he's still going for it. Nick Carter, 1 against 4 inside. Migos with the pull-up 3. Doesn't miss by much. Nice rebound by Nietzsche's. McKay has it. McKay gets pushed from behind, but he's somehow able to put that one home for his 8th point. Migos over to Wisłowski. Wisłowski gets the ball poked away by Ruscio. Marcus Ruscio's had a strong game here so far in this first half.
Yeah, he has. I don't remember if he got many minutes in the other games we watched, but he's played pretty well here the time I've seen him. So
Wisłowski on the inbound. Wisłowski over to George Mikos. Mikos back to Wisłowski. Wisłowski looks. He puts it back to Migos, back to Wisłowski, back to Migos. Oh, and what a pass! Oh, attempted pass inside, but nice play. And again, that's what this St. Mary's team does well, right, Ashton?
Yes,
We've
sir.
seen it all year. If there's a turnover, they run the floor and they look for that pass.
The transition game is very impressive.
That's right. Migos gets the ball poked away. It will be White Pines basketball with 23 seconds to play. Trailing 31-13. Hopkins with it. Hopkins looks. Nice take inside, but Carter gets him, and Hopkins is going to go to the line for 2. That's tough sledding, right? When you're a guard going in there against Carter, there's not going to be a lot of room.
It takes something to go in against him. You don't necessarily want to just be going in there. He's a physical player.
Maybe you'd like to see Nick not reach for it, right, and just stand straight up and down.
And then a timeout taken by White Pines, or?
Yeah, looks like there was a timeout here.
And here we just want to take the time to thank Domino's of Sault Ste. Marie and Team Essentials for teaming up with us to honor the high school's top players of the game when Saultsports TV streams games, regular season and postseason. Each game, Saultsports TV announcers we will select players from both teams to be awarded a Domino's medium pizza and a Team Essentials a Player of the Game T-shirt.
Yeah, and if you're interested in sponsoring high school sports, or if you're interested in sponsoring the NASA Hockey Championships or the OHF U15 Championships, please contact Jay Houselander at saultsports@gmail.com. That's SAULT sports@gmail.com. So with 16.9 seconds to play here in the second quarter, the St. Mary's Knights with a 31-13 lead over the White Pines Wolverines. And it looks like Ryder Hopkins is going to go to the line for 2 here. Ryder has 5 points so far, so 5 of the 13 points by Ryder. He leads the Wolverines in scoring here. Carter having a conversation with the official. Nick Carter's a really good kid, so I'm assuming that he's just joking around with the ref as they're both laughing together, which is nice. And Hopkins' first free throw is just a little bit short. Usually when that happens, what happens with the second one? It goes a little bit long, so we'll see if he can make that adjustment. And he makes no mistake. Ryder Hopkins with his 6th point. And here's Ruscio with it. Ruscio has the ball. Ruscio back over to McKay. McKay over to Ruscio. Ruscio looks. Ruscio inside to Carter.
Ooh.
And there's a turnover with 3 seconds to play. Migos has it. He's just going to hold it. And after the first half of play, the St. Mary's Knights with a 31-14 lead over the White Pines Wolverines. We'll be back in 10 minutes' time with second half action here from St. Mary's. I'm Tony Bonifacio, joined alongside Ashton Young, Jay and Shaw Houselander in studio, and Chris Carr, who was on a chair, has now walked away. We'll be back with second half action in 10 minutes' time. Thank you.
this St. Mary's basketball team that we've seen so far is they have struggled from the line throughout the year,
100%.
which allowed Superior Heights to stay in that game with them, and even the core game to a lesser extent.
Yeah, and even today, to your point, they're 1 for 5 or 1 for 6 from the line, and there was a free throw violation. So Carter got another one, and he drains that one. Wisłowski tries to get it to Pine, but it goes off Pine's hands, and it was last touched by the Knights, so it will be White Pines basketball with 5:05 to play, down by 20 here in the third quarter.
I think there's a double screen coming. There it is.
Hopkins puts it out to Wisłowski. Wisłowski has it up top. Wisłowski over to Pine, back to Wisłowski, over to Migos. Migos gets his pocket picked by McKay. McKay all alone, and he makes no mistake. Samson McKay, have a day. And Malcolm with a great steal there, but it's turned over, and Hopkins now with it. Hopkins out to Pine. That shot didn't miss by much. Malcolm up to Martin, and Martin puts home 2 more for his 8th point of the evening, his first 2 of the second half. And we lost the score. Our spotter, Chris Carr, did his job today.
Attaboy, Chris Carr.
Thanks for spotting that, Chris.
And with a break in the action here, I guess we'll take a second to pay some bills. And we would like to thank KISS 100.5, Country 104.3, freeze frame photos by Bob Davies at Saultsports.smugmug.com. And almost in the same as the first game here, if you're White Pines, maybe you take the second to settle down here and maybe get going offensively here. They look to be struggling a little bit.
Let's see what they're going to...
Yeah, we'll see what they put up on the clock here. As Coach Kofi and Coach Brock both talk to their respected teams. I'm not sure if there's any score updates from the Superior and Cora.
4:27.
The officials asking us up here how much time was left. So there'll be 4:27 on the clock. Knights with a 14-point lead. Again, we'd just like to announce that Sault Sports will be covering the 2023 Nassau Hockey Championships March 6th and 7th here from Sault Ste. Marie, and also the OHF U15 Championships April 12th to the 16th from here in Sault Ste. Marie. Sponsorship packages are available through Jay Houselander at saultsports@gmail.com. That's SAULT sports@gmail.com. White Pines here on the inbound. Migos. Into the corner it goes. Hopkins, he turns it over to Ruscio here. Ruscio has it. Ruscio with a nice take inside, but that's just off. And it'll be St. Mary's basketball.
And here's a couple more.
And into the game comes Jaden Trudeau and Nate Carter for the St. Mary's Knights. Jane's mom, Melissa, is watching at home, so shout out to Melissa. She had to tolerate me coaching Jaden in football back in the day, Sioux Minor football. And outstanding family, and nice to see Jaden getting some action here. Great take there by Ocampo. Migos has it now. Migos up top. And Migos turns it over. Trudeau now up to Ocampo. And Ocampo makes a no mistake again. Ocampo and McKay are scary, would be scary out there together. The way the way that they would run the floor, and yeah. Nice ball movement here by White Pines. Nice take there by Migos, and that's just off. Jaden Trudeau grabs the board, passes it up to Ocampo, over to Kamara, and Kamara stuffed from behind. Great effort by Demos Migos. Misses the shot.
Way to get back after,
yeah,
missing
hustles back and makes a beautiful play. We got a timeout here by the St. Mary's Knights with 3:22 to play. St. Mary's with a 42-14 lead.
And here we'd also like to thank for allowing us to stream and for sponsoring the Huron Superior Catholic District School Board and the Algoma District School Board. Also, we'd like to thank the GFL Memorial Gardens, Domino's, Sault Ste. Marie, Team Essentials, and the Children's Aid Society of Algoma. Children's Aid Society of Algoma is always looking for safe, loving families and individuals wanting to become a foster parent.
Next week, we will be broadcasting Monday and Wednesday night. There's 2 games next week. On Monday night, we will be... We're going to find out which games we're covering here in a couple minutes, and we will let you know what's upcoming here at Sault Sports.
I guess also we'll take the time. We're going to thank another sponsor here. Also, for the Team Essentials and Domino's, the Sault Ste. Marie Player of the Game. They've teamed up with Saultsports.com to honor the high school's top players of the games when Sault Sports TV streams their regular season and postseason games. The winners of a Player of the Game will both receive a Domino's medium pizza and a Team Essentials Player of the Game t-shirt.
So on Monday night, we will be covering the St. Mary's Knights at Superior Heights, and then on Wednesday night, we'll be covering the St. Mary's Knights versus the Cora Colts. As Trudeau gets on the board for the Knights. Wisławski has it now. He kicks it out to Holsworth. Holsworth back to Wisławski. Wisławski with a nice take inside, but Jaden Trudeau with the block. Hopkins now on the inbound with 3:02 to play in the third quarter. Hopkins tries to kick it out deep to Pine, but Jaden Trudeau able to knock that ball down. Here's Hopkins with it again. Hopkins has it. Hopkins, nice pass inside to Wisławski. He kicks it out to Holsworth, and Holsworth drains the triple. Nice shot there by Tristan Holsworth. Great ball movement as well.
That's the first points of the half here.
Trudeau now inside, kicks it back out to Ocampo. Ocampo's 3 off the front of the rim. There's a battle for it down low. Nate Carter grabs the board. Nate Carter pulls it out. Goes to the corner there now to Ocampo. Ocampo swings it back to Carter. Carter pulls up a deep 3, little long. Trudeau with the board, back to Ocampo. Ocampo shots off. Trudeau with another rebound. Jaden Trudeau grabbing every board underneath. Ocampo looks inside to Oprisco. Oprisco kicks it out to Kamara, back inside to Trudeau. Trudeau goes up strong, and Trudeau doesn't get the roll. And there's a battle for it now. And St. Mary somehow comes up with that. Now it goes back to Hopkins. Hopkins looking to push the pace. And Hopkins gets stripped by Trudeau. Trudeau now comes back. Jaden Trudeau.
Stripped by Ryder, right back.
This is just back and forth action here as Holsworth now has it. Holsworth into the corner to Wisławski. Wisławski's 3's a bit short. Nate Carter with the board. Nate comes up over to Kamara. Kamara has it. Kamara back to Carter. Carter back to Kamara. Over to Ocampo. Ocampo inside to Oprisco. Back out to Ocampo. Looks inside for Trudeau. And Trudeau. Shovel pass over to Carter. Back to Trudeau. Trudeau fires it up and he nails it. Trudeau with the and 1. So Jaden Trudeau going to the line to make this a 30-point game. And Trudeau a little strong there. Hopkins with it. Hopkins with 1:24 to play. Nice pass inside to Nietzsche's, and he makes no mistake. Ocampo has it. Inside to Trudeau. Trudeau looks to Oprisco. What a feed and what a finish by Oprisco. As Holsworth takes it for the Wolverines. Holsworth over to Nietzsche's. Over to Holsworth. And Trudeau with another block. The hops on Jaden Trudeau are insane. He can jump. And he makes it real difficult for anybody inside.
It's a deep roster. That's
Yeah. Yeah, Hopkins now looks. Hopkins puts it out. Holsworth back into Wisłowski. Wisłowski with it. Over to Nietzsche. Kicks it out to Wisłowski.
Oh.
Wisłowski gets the roll. Here comes Carter. Carter looking to answer. His shot's a little long, and that's going to be White Pines basketball with 27.2 seconds to play. St. Mary's with a 48-22 lead. Here comes Hopkins with it. Hopkins takes the ball over half. Hopkins looks, tries to make something happen. He does. Little off.
And leaking again.
Yeah, Carter with the board up to Ocampo. Ocampo's shot misses the mark, and up goes Pine. Pine over to Wisłowski with 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Wisłowski. Oh, he couldn't get the shot up. And after 3 quarters of play here from the St. Mary's Gymnasium in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, the St. Mary's Knights hold a 48-22 lead over the White Pines Wolverines.
And here I'd like to thank some sponsors at Saultsports TV, and then we'll go with Kiss 100.5, Country 104.3, Freeze Frame Photos by Bob Davies, GFL Memorial Gardens, Domino's Sault Ste. Marie Team Essentials, Children's Aid Society of Algoma. Heading into the fourth quarter here, Bono, if I'm Coach Joey Brock, I try to keep my team's spirits up. I know it's tough sometimes when you're in games like this and you're short benched, but you got to do something to get your kids. We've talked about this a few times already this year. Got to get gotta make sure your team keeps fighting, because you don't want it to get too ugly, and you want to see the kids that are gonna fight when things go bad. Right? It shows the heart of a student athlete.
Yeah, and to your point too, I mean, you can't, you might look at the scoreboard and say, what's St. Mary's doing? Are they running up the score? Those types of things. You can't really say that when they've played literally everybody. They've gone,
I think almost everyone on their team has already put up. Like, I'm curious if everyone on their team is going to score.
Yeah, they've mixed it up. They've played. They've played a lot of their bench guys. They've given some depth guys some time, and again, it's a credit to how good this roster is. Oftentimes we talk about Cora football and how we often say that the third string running back at Cora would start on any other school in the city. It's almost like the same thing here with the St. Mary's basketball team. You kind of get the feeling that their 10th and 11th bench guy might start on anyone else in the city. So it's really impressive to see kind of this team, and it's fun to watch because, again, you don't get to see this every year. So
I've always been of the ilk of I would rather a team, if I'm the team that's struggling and I'm like behind, I've never wanted a team to let up on me. I find it more disrespectful if a team lets up on me as opposed to going out there and playing as hard as they can. If you beat us by you beat us by 40, you beat us by 40.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to see the other team not playing and then taking bad shots and almost looks like you're mocking them when you're not. I'd rather teams play hard like this and still say solid basketball. And
yeah, nice finish again there by Trudeau. Holsworth over to Nietzsche, back to Holsworth, back to Wisłowski. Wisłowski's shot.
I might stop running the floor, but I mean that's just me. But you okay?
Oh yeah, I just sneezed. With 6:32 to play here in the fourth quarter, the St. Mary's Knights with a 50-22 lead. If you're Coach Brock here, it's one of those things, Ashton, where you were down by 30 points at one time, right? If you can cut that lead or keep it at 30 points for the rest of this game, that would be a success, right? You kind of want to break it down and give your kids something to play for and make it something, so when they come out of this game, you have some positive to take, right?
This is a game where maybe the totality of the score you don't look at. You look at each quarter, right? And if you win the fourth quarter, you win the fourth quarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wisloski's shot a little bit off there. Carter. Oh,
that
what
was a travel.
Yeah. What a play by Nate Carter there. He looks like he got hit in the privates there as he's running that one off. Holsworth now. He hands it into Hopkins. Hopkins into the corner. Over to Kirk. Into Pine. Pine is trapped down there. And
ripped out of his
just
hand.
takes the ball. And Ocampo goes up and he puts home 2 more. That's his 6th point of the second half. Here comes Holsworth. Holsworth has it. Holsworth. Oh, and Carter read that pass. And Carter gets stripped by Wisloski. Wisloski
nice take.
With a great take. What a play by Trudeau.
Had Ocampo just hanging out down here. That's the that's the stuff I might not agree with when you're up 30. You don't need to hang out down there looking for free points. It's not necessary.
Jace Pergamit in the game. Now that I know how to pronounce his name, Chris Carr is getting a good
You
laugh.
also don't need to let. You don't need to let. You also don't need to do this. Just grab the ball, let the clock run.
Yeah. As Carter has it. Carter over to Nari. Nari into Trudeau. Trudeau back to Nari. Nari with another 3. Just off. And Hopkins grabs the rebound for White Pines. Hopkins with a pull-up jumper, and he nails it. What a play there by Ryder Hopkins. That's Ryder's 8th point. As Pergamit's shot is a little long. Nice rebound by Wisloski. Wisloski has it. And Wisloski gets stripped there by Oprisco. Oprisco looks, finds Carter over to Trudeau. Trudeau with the triple, and that's a little bit long. With 4:54 to play. To your point, though, it's a 28-point game right now, and White Pines is tied in this third quarter so far, so that's definitely a positive as Matthew Malcolm has it now. Malcolm inside to Oprisco, up top to Pergamit, over to Nari. Nari has it. Nari looks to take, over to Derboka. Derboka, nice take there. Nice play, over to Nari now. Nari back to Pergamit, over to Malcolm. Malcolm with the 3. Malcolm's shot's off. Nice rebound there by Nari. Nari kicks it out to Malcolm. Malcolm has it, over to Pergamit. Inside to Oprisco, over to Derboka. Derboka with the take.
That's a nice take.
Oh, and he can't get the roll. Good effort there by the Knights. That was a nice possession there by the Knights.
That was good offense, ball movement, got a good shot, offensive rebound.
And there's
good defense, quick hands.
Oprisco with it. Oprisco over to Pergamit. Pergamit goes up strong. Nice take there by Jace Pergamit for his first bucket of the evening. And Hopkins pulls up from way downtown. And that's going to go off the expansion. So with 3:49 to play in the fourth quarter, the St. Mary's Knights with a 30-point lead, 54-20. Ashley, we've been watching Rowan Wisloski quite a bit here, and I think the biggest compliment that you can pay him is the fact that we don't notice. He doesn't look out of place as a grade 10, right?
No, I think he's gonna be special when he's older. He's
just watching him out here. He's kind of the fact that he actually doesn't look like he's a step behind is a huge compliment when he's playing against kids 4 years older than him, right? And Holsworth pulls up from way down.
I know it might not look like it with the score and the way we've announced it, but I tell you what, I like the future for White Pines basketball. I like that junior team, and these guys are young, and this is all development and learning. This is a learning year for them, right?
Yeah. 100%.
When you're full of grade, when you have a grade 10 starting, and I think pretty much minus the Mikos, most of your lineup is grade 11s. It's a pretty good sign that you're gonna be competitive in the next year or two.
Yeah, no question. It's Nari pulls up the 3. Derboka with a nice rebound. Nice kick out there to Pergament. Over to Malcolm. Malcolm with the 3. Malcolm's shot's just off. He's not getting any bounces today, but what an effort. Are you kidding me, Matthew Malcolm? That is exactly why I love that kid. Just pure effort. It's nice to see. Trey Primo in the game and David Kirk in the game here for the White Pines Wolverines, along with Ty Couture, sorry. Oprisco's shot, and Oprisco nails a baseline jumper. That's not easy to do.
Toughest shot in basketball.
Hopkins now has it. Hopkins takes it. Hopkins over to Couture. It'll be White Pines basketball as Holsworth comes out of the game. There'll be a timeout called here by the St. Mary's Knights with 2:35 to play. St. Mary's with a 56-24 lead. Again, just a reminder, we will be broadcasting Monday and Wednesday night next week. Monday night will be St. Mary's versus Superior Heights, and Wednesday night will be St. Mary's versus Cora.
And what is Cora? Is Cora 4-1?
In junior or in senior? I'm not sure what their record is. I'd have to look at that. But Ashton, if you would like to announce the St. Mary's Team Essentials Domino's Pizza Player of the Game for the St. Mary's Knights.
The St. Mary's Player of the Game is going to be number 3, Samson McKay, with 14 points tonight, and he's been active on defense and he's created turnovers. He's sort of been everywhere. Congratulations to him on winning the Team Domino's and Team Essentials Player of the Game. He will be getting a medium pizza and a Player of the Game t-shirt.
Yeah, he's been outstanding today, and there's been a lot of players from this St. Mary's team who could have won that award. You know, Ruscio's had a great game too. Malcolm we talked about. So again, Jaden Trudeau off the bench. You know, obviously this team's just loaded. But Samson McKay with an outstanding performance here today, right from the get-go, was one of the stronger players out there, and scored the first 4 points of this game. So, as for the White Pines Wolverines, the Team Essentials and Domino's Player of the Game will go to number 34, Ryder Hopkins. Ryder has 8 points here this evening, and he has been, 10 points this evening, and he has been all over the court for White Pines. Been really impressed with his ball movement too, right? And the nice thing I liked about Hopkins' game today is he's just not scared, Ashton. You see him, right? He
took it at Nick Carter a few times.
He seems like one of the smaller guys out there, but he's going right inside against St. Mary's, and he's not scared to. And, you know, he got a couple free throws earlier in the game by going right after Carter, which isn't something we see very often. So congratulations to Ryder Hopkins for his Player of the Game award, and what an effort again by Derboka. Look at that. Now that's his third rebound here in this little series. But Hopkins now has it with 1:27 to play. Hopkins looks, tries to make something happen. He finds Couture. Back to Hopkins. Hopkins looks. What a take by Hopkins. And nice rebound by Wisłowski. Somehow able to grab that. Wisłowski looks to go baseline. It's taken by Derboka, but I believe Derboka was standing out of bounds. He was, so it'll be White Pines ball. Hopkins on the inbound. Wisłowski on the baseline. Over to Kirk. Kirk up top to Primo. Primo back to Kirk. That's Wisłowski now. Wisłowski over to Kirk. Kirk back to Couture. Over to Hopkins. Hopkins, 3, 2, 1 on the shot clock. Hopkins just pulls it up. And Pergament with it. Jace Pergament kicks it up to Kamara. Back over to Nari. Back inside to Oprisco. Oprisco with his 6th point. Here goes Hopkins. Hopkins pulls up from way downtown.
And with 31-3 here, if I'm St. Mary's, I might just take the shot clock violation, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's tough not to tell kids that get a lot of minutes to not shoot. I'm there.
And I doubt that'll happen. So Kamara has it. Kamara over to Nari. We'll see what they decide. Nari now kicks it up to Kamara again. Oh, that's why they reset the shot clock. So I think they just reset the shot clock and they're going to let it go out. So classy move there by the Knights.
Yeah, it was a valiant effort from White Pines. A little short bench. They fought. They just.
I feel like the score.
When there's a talent gap, sometimes there's just not much you can do.
Yeah.
I've been on the ends of those.
So from St. Mary's Gymnasium here in Sault Ste. Marie, we'd just like to thank one more sponsor before we let you go.
And we would just, at Sault Sports here, we'd like to thank all of you for watching tonight's game. And we'd like to thank our corporate champions here on Superior Catholic District School Board, Algoma District School Board, KISS 100.5, Country 104.3, Freeze Frame Photos by Bob Davies, GFL Memorial Gardens, Domino's Sault Ste. Marie, Children's Aid Society of Algoma, Team Essentials. And if you're interested in having your business highlighted on Saultsports TV, contact Saultsports at saultsports@gmail.com. Keep up to date with Sault Ste. Marie High School sports online at saultsports.com. There you can follow the game stats as games are in progress, watch and listen live to the broadcast, get the latest news, and purchase tickets for upcoming games. Make sure to tell the world you are here and share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite teams in Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. For more information, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at saultsports.com on all social medias. Bono, if you want to sign up.
I'm Tony Bonifero, joined alongside Ashton Young for Jay and Shaw Houselander in studio and Chris Carr in a chair.